Hello, hello. I'm going to show you how to make something similar to this, which looks really complicated, but actually is not. And this has what is called radial symmetry, just if you like technical terms like that. You're going to start with a white sheet of paper, and then Ms. Reams and I have planned that you're going to have some kingfisher colors to work with. You want to start, you don't have to do this, but it definitely makes things easier by folding this white paper in half. When you're doing your folding, it's very important that you make nice sharp creases. I'm going to fold it the other way in half. What's nice about doing this folding that we're doing is it's going to help you find the center. Those creases will become a place where you can find center. Now, I'm going to teach you some some simple folds and then also some rather complicated folds. What's cool about this is that you can kind of make it up as you go. So some of these things look complicated. This one out here, really simple. This one maybe a little bit more complicated. If you have ever folded a paper origami, then you have a good idea for what to do for your base. We have 3 different size squares for you to work with. And the size, you can choose whichever of the sizes that you want. What I would recommend is that whatever you choose, you want to have an even number, at least for the balance, so that things stay symmetrical. So I'm going to work with this in between size, and like I said, I'm just going to show you some simple folds to start. So I'm going to fold the corner to corner. Remember, whenever you're watching a video like this, you can pause, you can rewind, you can slow down if you even need to. Sometimes that's helpful. So I've folded, again, this is really just basic so that we can kind of figure out some fun shapes to put on your piece. So folded it in half, and now I'm going to fold it in half the opposite way. I'm going to open that up, and now this crease is going to help me to make sure things stay lined up. So I'm going to use that line to bring this into the center. I'm going to rotate it, do the same thing on the opposite side, bring that line into the center. Now honestly, you could stop here. This is kind of visually interesting, but we're going to take it 1, maybe 2 steps further. So now I'm going to fold it to that opposite corner there. Open that up. I'm going to fold this one to that opposite crease. So now we've got kind of, again, another kind of interesting shape. And then this is where you can experiment. So I'm going to take this, not the center fold, but the ones just from the inside of that. I'm going to fold that, and then I'm just going to reverse this fold. So I'm going to fold this crease that's already existing. I'm just going to make that crease go the opposite direction. So this crease here, which is the one just next to the center fold, and then I'm going to take this existing crease and just make it go the other direction. And so right away, this is kind of simple, but kind of visually interesting, and depending on whether you leave those kind of folded in, which is interesting like that, or you can kind of pull them out a little bit so that they become more three-dimensional. All of those choices can be really visually interesting. And so then this piece you would attach to the square, and I'll go into that in just a little bit. But this is a very basic fold, and like I say, you can for sure experiment with this. Right now this is sticking off of the square, so I probably want to think about, can I make it smaller so that it fits, or you could even put it, if you center it, you can put it in the center and then work off of it. That could be really interesting. So here's a way to line it up using those initial creases that we folded on the white paper. All right, so that's one fold. Now let me show you another one. Using the blue paper, I'm going to go into a slightly more complicated fold this time. So I'm going to fold this in half, making a nice sharp crease. The sharp crease is, again, really important. I'm going to rotate it, fold it in half again. Nice sharp crease. I'm going to fold it in half a different way this time. So instead of folding it in half as it was a diamond this time, or a rhombus, this time I'm going to fold it in half as it is a square. Nice sharp crease, and I'll fold it. So I've folded it in half all of the possible ways here. So I'm folding it in half the last possible way, and there we go. So I've got this shape that's been folded in half all the ways. I'm going to take this crease here and I'm going to fold it back the opposite direction. So all the other creases were going this way, but now this crease is going the opposite direction. And then watch this, I'm going to push right here in the center and the whole thing kind of pops. You can kind of see how it kind of popped up. And now this is a tricky part, so I'm going to take these corners and I'm just going to press them down just like that. So I'll show you that one more time. So these corners, you can almost pinch them, lay it down, and then I'm going to press that down on top of it. Now, if that's not working for you, most likely your creases that you were making are not sharp enough. So remember, you want to make nice, sharp creases. So here we go. This is a shape. You could just work with this shape if you want. It's very visually interesting. It slides into this space kind of nicely. If you fold back a single corner, even if it's just part way, that could be really visually interesting. So this one, just as it is, you can play with variations of it and you get something that's kind of interesting. I feel like I'm slightly out of focus. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to take this shape that we just learned how to make and I'm going to show you how to do a few other things that are kind of interesting. So I'll show you two different variations you can do. So I'm going to take, there's kind of a flap here, this top edge, and I'm going to fold it into the center. And now I'm going to take that flap, I'm using this edge, and I'm going to fold that into the center line. Again, nice sharp creases. I use my thumbnail frequently just to kind of press that into a nice sharp crease. And here again, so this shape, if I was to use just it, would be very visually interesting, especially if I made a few and put them around the center of this. But we can do some more. So I'm going to kind of open that up. Again, I'm just playing with different variations. So I'm going to show you one last thing you can do with this side, with this shape. So I'm just going to, let me see if you can see that. So I'm going to take that and just kind of press it down. I'm going to lay the whole thing. So I'm just kind of gently, I'm using this crease. So this crease and that center line below to kind of line everything up. So I'm lining up that crease and now I'm just going to press that flat. Again, it's just it's about making something that's kind of visually interesting. So I'm going to do the same thing the other side. So I'm just kind of opening that up. And then I use the line that is the center line that is below it. Just kind of press that whole thing out flat. So now you can see, and I'm really honestly just making this up as we go. So if I wanted to add a little more visual interest, I'm going to fold that back. And so now you've got something that's very unique and very interesting. You could combine it. So we've got this guy. I'm going to line up my center creases. And now maybe I want to attach this here. And if I have two of those, then that becomes really interesting. So I'll show you one last fold just to kind of continue to play. So let me see. I'm going to take this and fold it in half. And I'm going to fold it in half the other way. And now this will be different. So I've got those center creases. I'm going to keep this just kind of as this diamond shape. And now I'm going to take this bottom corner and bring it up to the top. So I'm making, or I'm sorry, it was a triangle shape. Bring it up to the top there. I'm going to grab this point, bring it up to the top there. Making sure that all of my creases are nice and sharp. So now here again, there's all kinds of variations that I can do with this. I can fold this back like that. if I wanted to. That becomes visually interesting. I can, let's see. Oh, so I can, again, I'm just kind of making this up. So I'm just looking and kind of playing. So I'm going to fold, let me do this just to see where this goes. So you can see now I've folded that way. I'm going to match the other side. So I'm just taking this bottom corner or this bottom vertex and putting it out here. And folding that nice and flat. So that alone, just like that's kind of interesting. But let's go one step further. We've done this already before, so we're going to do it again. So I'm just going to open this up. And now I'm going to press that down nice and flat. So that becomes more. It's really just about making something that's kind of visually interesting to our eye. And then when you reproduce that with the symmetry, it becomes very, very cool. And our goal, Ms. Reams has probably told you this, is to make a piece of wall art. So we're going to, by the end of this, each of you will have made one of these, which we'll then put on the wall. And because they're going to be kingfisher colors, then it's going to be, I think, kind of sweet. So I'm going to make one more video to show you how to attach things, but just to give you an idea again, so we've got, you can do all the same color if you want, or you can switch it up. You can see mine right now would be all the same color. So I'm just kind of lining up what this might look like. It's not symmetrical currently because these two pieces are different, but you can see how just those little folds that we did there have made this really kind of a unique thing. Thanks for watching. Good luck. Hopefully I'll be there to help you.